Hello, what's up, what's up, what's up? What is popping? La la, la la. Oh, why is it that? No, but no. Hi, what's up, what's up, what's up? La 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 la. Oof. Oof. I'll be real with you. I'm hoping I can make it through this stream. Last night, last night I took out the trash, and fun grub fact, I am physically disabled. Sorry, I was turning on my little lamp. I'm physically disabled. Someone saw you? No. But the trash was kind of heavy, and I thought I just pulled a muscle, and I still kind of think that, but it's been nearing 24 hours, and it hurts to breathe still. Like my like right pec and my armpit and my right upper back is all sharp pain when I breathe. And I can't take deep breaths. And sometimes when I move, I feel something sliding against my ribs. So it's probably fine. It's probably fine, right? And I went to my mods and I was like, this is fine, probably, yeah. And then Zup was like, you need to go to the hospital. And then Thunder was like, you should have a hot shower. And Bo was like, should you stream? Grub, hospital. Yeah, but like, what if it's nothing and then I walk in there and look like an idiot? That, and I need to shower before I go to the hospital, and I don't want to shower. What did you have the hot shower? No. I don't want to shower. I have to anyway today, but I don't want to do it right now. What the fuck? My shit didn't show up. You seen that? Hold on, let's check that, eh? Let's take a gander. The poke the grub thing didn't show up, it just moved my head. Makes me wonder if the layers are hidden. Interesting. It's not gonna work! Something's wrong with it. Something's wrong with it. Sounds like a broken rib. Surely not. Surely I didn't break a rib from taking out the trash. I cannot be that pathetic. Surely not, right? Better to look like an idiot than have something be wrong. This is true. Are you sure? Pretty sure. Throw a trash bag into space. Alright, the model's loading up. We're gonna need to get the model up anyway. Because I'm gonna show you stuff in it for the behind the scenes. Lower ribs are very flimsy. It's like... I guess it is... Well, it is my rib area, but it's not my lower rib. Oh, hold on, I'm like pressing on bits. It doesn't hurt when I press on anything is the thing. Wait, does it? No, it doesn't hurt when I press on anything. Like, it's only... It's like an idle pain, and it doesn't hurt when I press on it, but it hurts when I breathe. Bo was thinking that maybe either I slipped a rib, or because I have EDS, it could be because I have hypermobility that my ribs are pinching my lungs? Surely not. Surely not. That shrimply cannot be what it is, no? My model's lagging because I have 2 iterations of it open. Are the hands? Oh, they are! Okay, hold on. We need to re-export the model. The folder was off in export. I see. Heart attack stream? Oh, that'd be a good clip, wouldn't it? I had a heart attack live on stream. And I didn't even cry once. It checked. I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to spend the whole night in the ER just for them to be like, you pulled your back. Streamer fucking dies because he took out the trash. Yeah. Well, I googled it. I googled all my symptoms, and it's like, it should be fine as long as you don't. Hey, I googled it, and Google knows everything. And it was like, it should be fine as long as your lips aren't blue. I don't think my lips are blue. They're really pale, but I just have an iron deficiency. I don't think I've eaten. I don't think I've eaten anything but 2 rice balls and ice cream in 2 days. I don't think I've eaten anything but 6 rice balls and ice cream in 4 days, actually. I may have been a little distracted. I got water, though. That's pretty sick. No, eating is bad? Oh, okay. I won't eat then. My ear hole itchy, what the freak? Hello, Grim. I drum streamed. Hello, gamer dude 12. Eat now. I'll think about it. I'm gonna switch to my chibi model because then maybe this will expert a little bit better. We might need to use the chibi model when I'm showing off the model anyway. We'll see. Bana, bada, bada, bada. Okay, what are we gonna play, gamer? We're not gonna play anything today. It's supposed to be behind the scenes. But I didn't have time to organize anything. So, I don't know how I want to do this. I want to show off some stuff in the model of how I, like, rigged stuff, because I rigged it in a uncommon fashion for a VTuber model. That. And I want to show off some of the behind-the-scenes art, like some of the sketches that were done for some of the art that I commissioned. There's also a bunch of art that you guys, like, kind of didn't see proper. It's in the card deck, but you didn't see it proper. There's also other art that you didn't see at all, because it was, like, little things that I didn't include in my background. Like, some artists did multiple sketches for each piece as, like, a guide, like, oh, you want this one, you want this one, you want that one, and they were all so good, and it was so hard to pick. Even some artists, I was like, can you save number 7 so I can come back to you later and commission it then? Oh, that laugh hurt. Hold on, I'm gonna jump up and down to see if I have pancreatitis. No, we're good. We're good. No pancreatitis, Lala. I win. How did you become a pet boy? I kinda always have been. I got you yesterday. Oh my god, you will hide the scenes of stuff and show you all that went into the debut. Yes. I can even show you my background before I painted over everything. Oh, that hiccup hurt. Can we get a hiccup in chat? Thanks. Exclamation mark hiccup. Clearly, you didn't win if you got hurt taking out the trash, you silly little stinky bean. Well, in my defense, I'm physically disabled. So, whose fault is that, huh? Huh? Quite frankly, I think we should blame God or Joseph Stalin. Yes. I think both these entities had a massive play in my pain. Sorry, that's me taking a deep breath because all my breaths have to be shallow. You know what else is massive? My rib pain. Lack of food can cause rib pain. Go use your damn air fryer. Hold on, what do I have? Right back. Oh yeah. I put udon in the microwave. Microwavable udon. Wheat. Ha. First time here. Hi, what's up? Just wondering why you mentioned that, eh? Mentioned what? What happened? What? Gotta fatten up grub. I used to have tummy pudge. I have a little bit now, but like... I don't know, I've been stressed. I haven't been eating as much. I want to get it back. I miss my tummy pudge. I have, like I said, I have a little. It's actually not awful amount. Sorry, I'm resaving the model, the other one, my main model, so that you guys can use the redeems, because one of the folders was off. Tummy pudge equal comfy pillow? Yeah, I like having pudge. Beetle. What? No. No. I don't think that's true. You take that back. Maybe to my credits nonsense. Right, let me open my video tool. Again, Wording now from experience is the lack of food causing rib pain after you eat. It's gonna hurt for a bit for like 10 minutes and then you're feeling jiffy again. Maybe. Maybe. Perhaps. Could be. Oh, the model's still exporting. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. Maybe you'll drive a fancy car. What is the lyrics? Is those the lyrics? What are the lyrics? I'm confused. Gah. Gah. Sorry, I keep like breathing directly into the mic. Fucking moaning ASMR. I think Oliver Tree wrote that song. Dude, it was so weird. As like... I don't know, it was so weird to see people LARPing that they enjoyed Oliver Tree. Like, I'm sure some of them genuinely did enjoy Oliver Tree, like, a lot of them probably did. But it was weird to see people pretend to know his music and then, like, lip sync it wrongly when he died. You know? So weird. Think he's dead. Well, oh, so weird to think he's dead, I assume you mean? It was strange. Been liking Oliver Tree since 2020. I liked him since he released, Alien Boy. When did Oliver Tree release Alien Boy? 2018. That shit was banging. God, how old was I in 2018? It's imperative that I know. I was 12? Yeah, no, I was 1000% rocking to a fucking Alien Boy. That was 7th grade. That was middle school. I listened to... Okay, imagine songs that Dib Membrane would listen to. I still listen to these now. Sally Face would listen to, because I listen to a lot of character playlists, and I still do to this day. And then... like... Search and Rescue and True Crime. That's the shit I'd listen to on the bus home. And I have not changed much. I have not changed much. Vomitgrub, yeah. Later, not this week, but I think next week we're gonna take a break from Rena's stuff and maybe conk out 1 or 2 chibis. Because we have one for Crackman Stan. We have another one. It's a bug person. I don't know what their pronouns are. We have quite a few things to do. I think the Crackman Stan one is gonna be way shrimpler. Still wrote as hell to think that he died in a tragic helicopter collision. It was... like, yeah, freak accidents happen. But, like, at the same time, when you speak out enough against a music industry, it's just a repeating pattern. Now, I'm no conspiracist, except I am, and I think they killed his ass. I think they killed his ass! We're talking about Kobe Bryant, and we're talking about, Oliver Tree. Yes. I think they killed his ass! I think the same with Michael Jackson! He owned too much of the music industry. He owned too much of his own music and the Beatles' music. And they killed his ass. I'm telling yous. Listen. There's a reason that my original song that is being worked on, it is a Vocaloid song with my voice. La la! I got an entire voice made of my voice. La la! And there is some parts that's like my actual voice as well. But there's a reason... My original song that was being worked on is called Wackadoodle, which is just another word for a tweaked out conspiracy theorist. I love, like... Okay, those are, like, very basic conspiracy theories. Those aren't, like, insane ones. But... I love, like, tweaked out ones as well. My udon's ready. Let me get my udon so I can eat while I yap, yeah? It needs to cool down a little bit. It's too hot. There we go. Just found out randomly blocked and unfollowed someone in June. Heartbreaking. Eh? I'm confused. What is blood on about? Any pickups? Did my thing export? No, it's still exporting. Oh my god, this shit is slow. Maybe that's why I couldn't be modded. Eh? What, because you weren't following me? Or did you block me? Wait, you hate me and you want me dead? Okay, I get it. Anyway, you guys want to maybe get into some of the stuff for... some of the stuff of the background stuff? It's still loading in the background, so I can't switch back to the other model, but I can yap a little bit about other stuff. So, does this look familiar? Does this look familiar? Also, I was gonna go to the Asian Mart today and get milk bread because my lemon marmalade came in, and lemon marmalade is like so nostalgic for me. My great-grandma used to come down from Boston, and when she would visit, she would bring us lemon marmalade, and I have not been able to find it since then, and she died when I was 8. And I put some on Throne, and someone ordered it for me for my birthday, which I took down. I think there was like one thing left on the Throne after my birthday. I only put like 3 things up. But I took that down because it's not my birthday anymore. And all my stuff came in for my birthday. La la. I got tea, I got honey, and I got lemon marmalade. Those are my 3 things. La la, la la, yippee! But I was gonna get milk bread for my lemon marmalade so I could have it for brekkie. And then I, was in pain and couldn't breathe. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't go walking, like, 1.5 miles there and back if I can't breathe proper. I'm so tempted to, like, order bread. Like, order bread on a Uber Eats or, like, Amazon delivery. Grub have no car. Grub can't drive car. Grub's schizophrenic. La la. But yes, this is the background. This is the original background. This is the background I had the, model artist 3D model. And this is them. Very cool work. I actually, like, how I tested my model against various different artists' work in order to see if it looked good against the background, to see if it fit in, to see if it, like, blended well, because sometimes you'll see a 2D model against a 3D background, or even a 2D model against a 2D background, and the art styles don't mesh well together, and it's kind of jarring to the eye. How I did it is oh wait, hold on, my thing saved. Grab all this, copy that, one here, is it this? Yes, paste. Alright. We can switch back to the other model. Can? No, I'll do it myself. You guys don't waste your stuff. It should work now. There we go! There we go! All this stuff works, all this stuff works. La la, yippee, yippee, yippee. That's what it was supposed to do. That's the squish. That's the poke. And then there's the pat. Yeah. I was telling you there was interactable stuff. But the folder wasn't toggled on the export, so you couldn't fucking see them. What the helly? Anyway, how I, tested my model, like, against various different artists' style backgrounds, is I would, like, save an image, or I'd probably just screenshot it in this example, because you can't really copy images from VGen. You can open them in a new tab and then copy them, so oh, you can't do it from the browser thing, you can only do it from DMs, but let's just use it as this example. I'd open Photopea, and I'd take a screenshot, so, screenshot. I'd take a screenshot, and I plop it into Photopea, and then I take a PNG of my model. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm gonna hide my screen real quick in case this flashes my undermodel. It 1000% did. I'm glad I hid my screen. That also flashed my undermodel. That also is my undermodel. Here we go. I'll be honest, I never knew you were the same age as me. Crazy how talented you are the same age as me. Very cool, very proud, very happy to catch you live after 3 months. I follow too many people to keep up. It's hard. I feel bad. I missed a lot. And I don't remember when I was last here. I'm happy to tune in today to see you. Okay, so you hate me and you want me dead. Okay. And you want me dead. Wow. Anyway, I took my model PNG once the art was done, and I think I also did this when I was still in the sketching phase as well, like the design phase. And I plop it into Photopea, which for those who don't know Photopea, it is a free browser version of Photoshop. And I use it for all of my thumbnails, and all of my, like, media graphics, kinda. Grub is very jealous and possessive. I don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy. Have you taken your meds today? And then I'd color pick, like, a neutral tone in the image. So that's just I, or you can go over here. And then I'd paste it over the whole thing. I go to multiply, and I put it at, like, 50%, right? And then I select my model layer. Select up here, inverse. And then above that shadow layer, we're going to do another clipping layer. And I take the point of the light, like the light source, or I just, like, pick a color that kind of looks like the light source. So this is a green lit area. I take the green, I paste, looks like nothing happened. As you can see over here, though, it pasted everywhere but the character. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click in that area, and we're gonna drag over, because I knew I was gonna be backlit. Like, I'm backlit right now. And then we just set that to, like, screen and lower the opacity a little bit, so I could test my model against different backgrounds. And you see, this fits pretty well. Like, this looks like this character belongs in the scene, right? But with other backgrounds, it didn't quite fit as well, so that's why I ended up going with this one. Not only that, but they had really good lighting and really good geometry. And specifically, it was, where art thou? Background. Specifically, it was this one, which is like a science-y lab with a bunch of beakers and stuff, which I really liked. And it was this one that made me pick this artist in particular. And for those that are wondering the artist, it is Firas Art. And it's in the credits that's pinned, or it should be pinned. Is it not pinned? What the fuck? Why isn't it pinned? Mods! Is it pinned for you guys? Fira mentioned? When the fuck did you get a plushie? Like, no pins? What the fuck? Credits. Hold on. I think one of my mods accidentally unpinned my credits that I pinned. Either that, or I didn't click for it to continue existing and it only stayed up for 20 minutes. There you go. That should be it. Yes. If I click over here. Here's my credits page. Wow. Look how schmancy and pretty it is. Wow. There's a motorcycle outside my house. Rude. This is rude. Wow. And I got my entire reference sheet, which I forgot to show during debut, which I only realized afterwards. I got my entire reference sheet with a back view, and I got a side view of my head over there. It's kind of a schmeh, but it's kind of cut off on the stream. It's not cut off in the Google Docky or Google Slides. Yes. And we have all of our credits. We have, background, profile picture, Dizzy alert, raid alert starting soon, chat widget, most of the static emotes. Some of the emotes were done by 88 Studios, but all of the alerts were done by 88 Studios. The lore video art was done by Hades. I'm going to continue working with Hades for stuff in the future. And as you can see, there's wonderful art by Bina273 back here. I love Bina. Bina, my beloved. See, Bina's work is so good. This was some of the this was some of the Yube ship art that I commissioned because I have a problem. Because I love Coatman. I love Coatman from No, I'm Not Human. I just think he'd hate me, and I love that about him. I just think he'd want me dead, and I love that about him. Actually, funny enough, here, hold on, let me see if I can find it. I have been saving art of a character from Squid Games season 2 or 3, I don't know which one it is, because the actor is my headcanon for how Coatman would look IRL. And I send other artists' work of this character and just pictures of the actor to to artists when I commission work of Coatman. Alright, I guess I can't find too much work of it. I think some of the stuff I did have got deleted. Oh, that is porn. I am glad I hid my screen. I went on Twitter.com, so of course I hid my screen. Hold on, I'm finding it. The character's Namgyu from Squid Game. That's who. I had to figure out who the fuck this guy was. Like, I 1000% headcanon. I 1000% headcanon, coat guy as just like a greasy little chud. And I love him that way. And I love him that way, actually. Yeah. Haha. This guy? Yeah, this is what I imagine Code Guy like. For those who don't know Code Guy, no, I'm not human. I keep wanting to call it Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is also banging. This little pleb. This is what I imagine him as this guy. But like with his eyes really open, as if he was shocked all the time, you know? Yeah, like this. Just... Yeah, I see the resemblance. Yeah, I saw fan art of this guy in Squid Game, and I was like, oh, that's my mignon. That's my baby girl, my little blorbo. I love Coatman. I can't scroll too much because people really want this man, but like, just like me for real. Girl only has a slight problem. Yeah, we have a slight problem. I'm gonna go through these arts as well because. For this one, they did multiple iterations, and this is the one I asked them to save. I asked them to save, the other iterations of it, because I was like, ooh. How badly do people want Coatman? People like Coatman, people like Wireface, people like the Pale Man, and then people like, the homeowner, he's called. I think they all have, like, individual names decided by the fandom, but not any canonical names. I think people call Coatman Victor. From what I've seen. Does your plushie ship to Canada, perchance? It ships everywhere! It does change shipping price depending on country, though. Which I have no control over that. Which, here is the wonderful artist that did this art. Is it gorgeous art? And they are so fucking good with it, dude. Like, this shit's banging. This shit banging, actually? This shit hit and slap and fucks. What the hell? And yeah, here was the original sketch, and they did like a little time-lapse for me. Wowie zowie, it's so good. It's so good. They also included a different color variation options as well. They were so nice to work with. I highly recommend them. They're lemon ge 1. And then they're also linked in the credits. There they are. And they also give me, like, examples of lighting and such. They're like, oh, it'll be like this, and, where are the sketch options? Yeah, they gave me different sketch options, and these were also fucking good. Fuck! Fuck, man, these were all banging! Shit! I told them to save this one, because it looks like I'm about to punch him, and I like that. I told them to save this one so I can commission them in the future, but these are all so cutie. These are all so cutie. What the helly? What the helly? You ever heard the doctor guy? What happened? I can't read shortcuts. I am also a trans woman. Or give a fun fact. Gerba's code guy fawning? Yeah, what about it? Fuck you want from me? Everyone needs a silly little Yume ship. La la. I got more past this as well, I think. I don't think it was just these. I think there was others that got done. I don't remember. Hiya, hiya. There's also other art that you're not seeing here, like, desktop. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. I have an art folder. That I can't show you directly because it has one of my new outfits that hasn't been released yet. Dude, look how cutie this is. Look how cutie patootie this is. This is by the same artist as the, Hold on, let me hide my screen real quick in case there's, you know. This is by the same artist as the thumbnail for the cover that got released on debut day. Here we go. Their name is, Nanari, or just Ari, and they do fucking phenomenal. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is the cover they did, and it's banging, banging. And all I did was I went to them, and I was like, hey, this is the song I want. They got back to me, and they took a frame from the official music video of the song, and were like, hey, I'm gonna DoorDash Uber Eats. Did you ever get your, Hey Rena, did you ever get your DoorDash? Why does the title say ASMR debut? Does it? It shouldn't. Oh my god, it does. Hold on. There we go. It does on Twitch, it doesn't on YouTube. I fixed it. La la. No idea why I even said DoorDash. Bro was manifesting. Bro was manifesting in my chat. I swear I lost my mind. Rena's the type to be like, wow, I really love some DoorDash right about now. I'd love if someone got me some DoorDash right about now. That'd be swell. No ASMR? Why am I even here? Because you like me? Duh. I have other artists, I think. Hold on. There's this one that was, yeah, again, by the same artist as the cover, and I didn't mention it was for a debut until, like, a few days before it was due, because they're like, oh, I'm gonna be a little late on that, blah, 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 is this okay? And I was like, can I actually please get it by the due date, because I had it for a specific reason. It's for a debut, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'll lock the fuck in. So maybe it's a little helpful if you say it's actually for a specific reason, you didn't choose a date at random instead of just putting in the date, because they actually did lock in when they realized it was for something and not just like, oh, when they get to it thing. Really good work though, gorgeous work, I highly recommend them. Really good prices too. Here it was $25 dues, and then I also paid extra for commercial content, and I paid for a privacy fee. So that they didn't show the design beforehand, but I won't lie, I did have multiple artists accidentally leak my design, but I was able to get them, like, contact them, and get them to take it down within 24 hours, because I paid all NDAs, or I, like, reached out to the artist and was like, what is your NDA fee? And they're like, it's fine, I can wait until your debut, it's not that long. and then some artist posted it anyway by accident, and it got solved, and I don't think any of you saw the... I don't think any of you saw the model beforehand, but it was rough. It was a little bit rough. 25 for that is amazing. It's 48 USD, but my wallet is crying. That's not bad, I won't lie. I had to ship, or I didn't ship, I didn't end up shipping, but I was gonna do a plushie trade, a blind box plushie trade with, Pomni blind blush? Blind box? Yes. And I was gonna ship it to France. And they tried to ship it to me, and then, like, UPS kept just not delivering it to me, and then they just ended up sending it back. And B, I tried to ship it to France, and they were like, $200 to ship it to France. And I was like, no. And then I just bought them a new one. But I didn't end up getting theirs because it just never ships, and then I told them don't worry about it because I felt bad. So I basically just spent $50 and got nothing out of it. Hold on, my butt cheeks hurt. I probably should start eating my udon, huh? I love Costco udon. Costco microwave udon. Yummy. I'm surprised you don't use Grubhub. I don't know if I've ever used Grubhub. I've used DoorDash like once, and I've used Uber Eats a few times. I saw a ship of a kit from Gameverse and V1 from Ultrakill. Who's V1 from Ultrakill? Hold on. Oh, this guy's nice. What a neat fellow. Why are you deserved? What, you don't like cracked chips? Ah, but deals that make you want a boogie. I commissioned this person for these little chibi doodle things. They're actually in the background here. They're sitting on my autopsy table. How cutesy, how cute. A lot of my fan art's in the background, actually. Or not fan art, commissioned art. There's the Bina art over on the left there, and there's Zarpy or Zapri also on the left, and there's more Bina art in the middle, and there's more Zapri art. Wait, no. This one's Zapri. This one's not supposed to be Zapri. Is it? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I think Grub mislabeled something in credits. I think I'm a fucking scoundrel and a fraud and an asshole, and everyone hates me and wants me dead. So that's Zapri, right? No, this one's, Puppy Tiny. I need to fix something in my credits real quick. Un momento, por favor. Grub got something wrong. I was crediting the wrong person. What the helly? Link. Bye. This needs to be... You need a fucking back rub or something? Muy bien. So this one was actually by Puppy Tiny. They do such good art. It was $35 plus I paid a commercial and I paid for NDA in this as well. This was one of the artists that accidentally posted. Ooh, I should not be scrolling if they have mature content, but this was one of the artists that accidentally posted it, but they corrected their mistake like immediately, so I'm not too upset. Thank you for subscribing, Deity Zero. La la. Or wait, no, you gifted a sub. La la. Yippee. Yowie? Yeah, I went a little yowie brain. Yeah, I'm pretty flaky like that. I want to commission more Yume ship art. God, this is so good. But I need to fucking chillax. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and also Plat, my beloved. I love Plat's work. Plat is so fucking good. Dude. They did my, splash art, so, like, my main key visual that's in my, like, raid message. It was in the first slide of my debut slides, and it's banging. And I picked them because they're really good at, like, drawing petite people without making them look like children. Like, Platt's own persona is very petite and has, like, a bobblehead, but you don't look at this and go, that's a fucking child, or that's a lolly, you know? Which I appreciate. It can be seen as younger, but not like, you know what I mean. It's very hard to find artists who can portray, like, cute or petite characters without it making them look like children. Lads, a very important question. Yuri or Yaoi? Personally, I ain't got nothing against Yuri. I ain't got nothing against Yuri, but I ain't no woman, and I ain't no lesbian, so not my cup of tea. I personally, ain't reading no Yuri. Yuri all the way? We got Yuri enjoyers in chat. Alright. I am followed by, like, so many lesbians and so many trans women who are also often lesbians. Yuri, unless it's Hannibal, then Yaoi. Lesbian's hot? Yeah, I know, Rita. Get out of here. My cat's begging for food. But yes, they did such a good job, and they're also very sweet on Twitter. Get out of here! This is my food, you pleb. Fucker. Can't put my fucking food anywhere without attacking it. It's going in my lap, and I'm gonna hope I don't spill it. Here we go. So I have a few credits from my previous stuff, because I might just still occasionally use it, right? I want to kiss boys and watch boys kiss. So true, bestie. You just like me for real. Dude, for the instrumental remaster, they're actually the ones that did the instrumental for the, Starting Soon, which, the Starting Soon instrumental may or may not be the instrumental for the original song. This? May or may not be the instrumental for the original song, but they're not the ones that composed the instrumental. They just did, like, a remaster of it, because the original instrumental... Oh my god, hold on. This shit went through trials and tribulations, my guy. Have you watched My Dress Up Darling? No. Personally, I'm not a fan of anime that sexualize 16-year-old girls. Just me, though. Personally, I don't care how mature looking they portray her. She's a 16-year-old girl, and I don't want to watch it. Anyway, but the song went through, like, trials and fucking tribulations, man. It went through one person. And it went through one person, originally. And they're still gonna be credited and everything. I'm gonna credit everyone that worked on the song, but no, some of these people that did work on the song kind of fucked me over big time. Original person, I laid out all the lyrics because I wrote all lyrics, and then for each line, I wrote a note because it was in, like, a Google document, and so I added a note that attached to it, like a sticky note. And I wrote out the pronunciation and extended notes that I wanted for each line. And then for each verse, I went through and I found a song that had a similar, like, pacing I wanted for that verse and, like, tone, I guess? And then I brought it all to the person. And I also gave them examples of instrumental for each verse. Vibes, and then I gave background information. Background information is that the song is kind of meant to be all over the place intentionally, and it might sound a little messy because of that, I won't lie, because we may have gone a little overboard on that. But the song is kind of meant to be all over the place purposefully, because it's kind of supposed to portray me, who has paranoid schizophrenia, paired with conspiracy theory stuff, which I really like. So it has, like, mentions of fucking Mothman, the Jersey Devil, aliens, la la, la la. Very fun, very fun, very fun. Yowie? That's pretty gay. Lala. But yes, they were the ones that remastered the instrumental, because the original instrumental got lost. The original UST, which is the thing that tells the voice bank what lyrics to say and what tone to say them in, got lost. I went to another UST maker to get that made, and then they kind of did, like, not the best job. And so I kind of was like, maybe my project's fucked. And then, the original person was like, hey, I'm actually gonna stop working on your things despite losing all of the stuff you paid for, and I will now move on to other projects. And I was like, okay, but you didn't give me what I paid for. But at that point, I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna stop working with this person. They're still gonna be credited, as I said, because they did make the original instrumental, but oh my god. I did like the remaster that this person did, the Lost Boys did, way more. They made it a lot more clear, a lot more, like, bass forward. And they did just, like, a really fucking good job. And then now I'm working with another person. I also worked with a, hold on. Lear? This person? For, not the vocal synth mixing, but yeah, here we go. MIDI transcription. Vocal MIDI and tuning bundle. Yeah. They did this. So the MIDI is like the thing that tells the melody of the song and sometimes the lyrics, right? So I worked with them originally, right? And I was like, hey, do you have any recommendations for people who do USTs in tuning and transcription? Because they were not comfortable with doing it with my song, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Or they weren't comfortable with doing it with my voice bank, because I only work with certain voice banks for the other half of the service that I wanted. So I worked with them for this, and then I was recommended their friend, which I'm now working with for the other stuff, right? And it's making good progress. I thought it was gonna be done, like, yesterday, but I don't want to really rush them, because I don't want to. This shit's been in the background for a hot second. I have a question. Remember a while back I said I want to draw you in pixel art? Well, can I please draw this model of you in pixel art? Yeah, you can. Through the link that's pinned, it actually has my full reference sheet. And I believe you can... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah. If you right-click it, you can open it in a new tab. Is the UST stuff via vSynth? I don't know. I know nothing about, voice banks. I'm gonna be so real with you. I, went into this completely blind. Oh, also, amazing. Great person I worked with for the original voice bank is fucking somewhere here. Whatever. Oh, here they are. This person is the person that made my voice bank. It says $1, but it's, like, depending on, what you get. And it's still very cheap. I think it was still under, like, $50, even under $30 maybe. But weirdly enough, with this person, like, the Utao community is so tiny that I reached out to this person to make my voice bank, and I was like, wait a minute, I recognize this character right here. Years back, before I was a VTuber, they commissioned me to draw art of their character of their voice bank. And I was like, hey, a funny coincidence, one of your clients, I commissioned me years back to do art of their character. And they're like, wait a minute, that's fucking me. I did that. I commissioned you years back on your other character. What a coinky dink. No. And they were very, very sweet through all of it. And they also did add-ons for me in English because it's a Japanese voice bank. And bargain. Has 5 husbands. Alright. It's so good, dude. But yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff. I got to work with a lot of very nice people. I got to work with a lot of very nice people, and I'm very happy. Can't believe Iris just died. Yeah. Oh, I also got to work with this person. This was a very last minute thing, in fact, because I kept getting copywritten on YouTube for playing the Meow Mao as my background music. So I was like, fine. I'll commission like custom background music, and I think I did a skeb. Yeah. I did like this or something like that. I did the skeb, and they still messaged me. Were like, do you like this? Do you want anything changed? Which was really nice of them. It was really nice of them. End of an era, but the new song's a banger, so worth it. Yeah, I sent them the Meow Mao as reference, and then I also sent them I sent them this. Hold on. Which I'm gonna stop that because it's probably gonna get copywritten on YouTube, but I also sent them bug music. I sent them bug music. And I was like, I want something like this, lala. And they're like, well, you got it. You got it. Oh, and, Eastlad. They're the ones that did the animated emotes. They're the ones that did, let's see here. Or they did some of the animated emotes, not all of them. They did this one. The thigh jiggle one. Which, that shit's banging. They did kind of nerf my thighs just a little bit, but it looks so good that I didn't really complain. And they also did... I think it's this? Yeah, they did the sniff one. It's so good. That's nerfed. Have you seen my thighs? Have you gandered? Have you gandered upon them? IRL, I have a 10-inch difference between my waist and my thighs, so that was reflected on the model. Yes. There you guys go, free thighs. Oh no, I fell for it. Shucks. Jeez, kablizzy. Is that on my head? No, I'm good. I got, like, work later. Sorry, I'm eating. My friend told me B-Synth was easy. When I bought it and loaded it up, I was like, what am I looking at? Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just do it myself. I'll just figure out how to do it myself, like I did with rigging. I bought it, I loaded it up, and then I was like, what the fuck is any of this shit? What is any of this, actually? I'm lost and scared, and I will just pay people to do this because I am lost and scared, yes. I think I should buy a sub again for cool emotes. You can, but also if you are on desktop, you don't have to. You can just get the Chrome, or I think it's on other things, but it's a plugin for your browser called 7TV, and then you can use all the emotes for free. But you can't use them on other channels, I will say. What's a voice bank again? It is someone's voice transcribed and broken down into sounds, and then linked together in those sounds to create words for songs or, you know, talking, right? So I had to do stuff like, hold on, I can just Google. Oops. Where's my Pokey? Where'd it go? What the friggy? Hold on, I'm gonna find them again. Hey there. They gave me, like... It's all in Japanese as well, or mine was in Japanese at least. So I knew, like, loose, hiragana. But this was, like, the English, this was the English parts of it that I had added on. But it was a lot. It was, like, a shit ton. Let me see if I can... It's here somewhere. So that's it. Yeah, here we go. So I had to record each of these lines individually, and then I had to also record a high version and a low version. For me personally, instead of recording the high version and the low version, I put them through a audio editor, and I just pitched it up and then pitched it down so that it was the same across the high and low options. And so for every single one of these lines, I had to go e, u, e, a. And it's all Japanese vowels, so it's like e, u, a, e. Yeah, it was a lot, And then on top of that, I had to do the, these, and then the guttural stops, which is the a, u, e, o, n, a. You're supposed to do them, like, continuously, so a, u, n, a, shit like that. And it's hard. Like, this one's, no, it's O. O, E, A. O, E, O, U, O. I think it's, It's very hard. Wag. I can wag my tail looky. I got a fat tail. It's usually down because it kind of blocks the screen. I can also make it smaller, though. I can still have the tail, but it's just smaller. Squishy tail? Yeah. I like fat tails. It was a chatting stream at like 6 yesterday, depending on time zone. Any advice for someone who wants to learn VTuber model design and rigging? Look up tutorials. And before you start rigging your model, because Live2D, which is the rigging program, have the art completely finished, and while you're doing the art, look at so many tutorials on the art specifically, not on the rigging specifically. And the best rule of thumb is, should I separate this? Do you want it to move separate from the object it is on? Yes, separate it. And the reason you want to have the art completely finished before you even load it into Live2D is because Live2D is a subscription program, but the free trial is 40 days without having to add, like, any credit card information. So you want your art completely done before you even load it in. For the Discord, you need to be verified. Sometimes it takes a while. Other times, y'all's profiles are just sus and trustworthy. This is true. This is true. Liz is very ruthless with that stuff. Hi, Bruce. Oh yeah, this was the background, right? This is my, like, current background. If I go like that, you can see this current background. So I paid someone to 3D model everything, right? And we went through a few different iterations, which let me pull them back up. My orders. Where are you? Here we are. We went through a few different iterations, and I asked for multiple changes, and I can actually point out different parts of stuff they got changed from the base to the final. So this was the base, right? It's missing some things that my background now has. I gave them like a whole. I made a Google Drive folder and I put a bunch of images for reference, and then I also put a document explaining each reference image and which parts about it I like, which parts I don't like. I gave a example for the room perspective, for the room shape, for how I wanted the spiral staircase to be, for the autopsy table, for like fucking everything. For everything. And then I had them 3D model everything, and then as I was like, as they were 3D modeling stuff, I was like, okay, I really like this, but can we change, can we make the, like, the exit sign bigger? Can we change the window to one of these? Because the window was originally just like a circle window, I believe. Can we add shelves, which I have shelves back there now above the cold body freezers? Or not freezers, but like the body, what are those called? I can't remember the name. The body shelves, I guess? Body drawers. I think they're drawers, yes. And actually, I asked for shelves up here. Specifically, the shelves have these file crates. Back there, you can kind of see them. Have these file crates, and these file crates are an Outlast Trials reference. Because in the tutorial of Outlast Trials, you take all of your files from your life, so all of your documents, everything, and you burn them. You get rid of your past life and you join as a reagent under something called Operation Paperclip, which is a real thing that happened in like the real world, where at the end of World War II, America went to the scientists on the other sides of the war and were like, hey, we won't kill you if you come work for us. So this is an alternate reality, kind of. If those scientists created trials and tribulations for people down on their luck, they got accepted into this program with the promise of having a life, instead to be conditioned to be sleeper agents. And I really adore the game, and so I had reference added in. And then I also, this was really nitpicky, but there was 2 books that were the same height and the same, like on one shelf and then on the other shelf. I was like, can we change that? Can we change that, please? And then they changed all that. And then we got this back. So as you can see, that's pretty close to the background. We got this back, banging, very, very good. They added also an IV thing here, which I asked for. There's like candy shelves and shit. And as you can see, there's no little alien, there's no like stuff here or here. Like, I drew in some stuff. Not only did I draw in some stuff, this was the original one they gave me. And then I asked for like a color changes, right? And then we had marked out where we wanted the frames to be, because originally they put like, hold on, they put like medical posters in the frames, and I was like, can I actually get those transparent so I can put art in them? And I also asked for changes on the roof and on this part. And I did all those changes specifically because in the end, where are you? Overlay. So let me open it. Here, we can just do this. In the end, I ended up painting over everything. I painted over every part of this 3D model, and the first thing I did was I took a gradient scale, so it takes the darkest and the lightest, and I can set it in grayscale, right, to be certain colors. So let's say gray, I can make that pink. Like the lightest color white, I can make that blue, stuff like that. So I set this on a gradient map. And then, for each part, I rendered over it, and I also chopped out bits and pieces and maxed out pieces that I wanted to not fit into that gradient map. And then I went through and I rendered everything individually. So if I, like, save this image, I guess. And then I loaded it in the exact same folder. And we're gonna go over here real quick. And I loaded it into the exact same folder, so we're gonna pop this in here. And we're gonna drag it down to the folder, because there's a few filters on the folder that change the look as well, which I'll toggle those off so you can see what it looks like. This is what it would look like if I didn't draw over anything and I didn't change the colors. A wee bit different. I also added lighting. So as you can see, like, all of this railing and like framework was completely drawn over. There was shading added, there was some shading taken away in places I didn't like it. There was, you know, animation added and little goobers and my fan art stuff, or my commissioned art stuff. And la 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 la. Not only that, but here, let me delete this now. Not only that, but here, let me come back. Which is it? There we go. Not only that, why's my antenna doing that? What the hell? I think I know why. Bluetooth antenna. Bluetooth mount. I know why. I fix. Not only that, but yes, I did all the animation, but this has some filters on it. This has a tilt shift filter. So what tilt shift does is you have the option to blur the sides. You can change where the center is, so you can change it on the side to side, and then the up and down, the x-axis and the y-axis. You can change the focus radius, so how blurred the edges are and how small the unaltered middle is. And then you can also add chromatic aberration, right? So this is on a whole folder on top of both the art, the animation, the lighting, like all that stuff, and I can just turn that off. If you look on the edges, it's really noticeable there. But otherwise, it's fine. And then I have a composite blur, and all it does is it gives it just a little more of a blur, and this is just so that your focus is on me and you don't get, like, visually confused between my model and the background, because we do have pretty similar colors. Can't see. What do you want about? What is Bill talking about? I need to resave my model again. When I exported the model, it had a extra piece, like the original brick that I had on my old model, masked out for the antenna. Make sure it's not there anymore. Okay, yeah. Masked out for the antenna, that doesn't fucking exist anymore. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna switch to the chibi model so that it can process easier. La la, la la. But yeah. On this background, there's also other stuff. There's also other stuff, like, for example, there's all that stuff, like I said, but there's also a 3D panel effect, which doesn't seem like it is actually being a 3D panel, right? If I add a proper... Hi, it crashed. Hi, it crashed. Here, refresh. It crashed. It gets upset. It gets upset when you add filters with OBS on, or if you add too many filters. So I was going to show you what the 3D panel effect looks like here. I can just show you fucking This is a 3D panel effect, and I can like change the perspective of it, but I'm not gonna. This is a 3D panel effect. You can see the edge of it. My background has a 3D panel effect, but it's set to be completely forward, so you can't see the edges of it at all. And it's set like that because it has an ever so slight wiggle on it. So it just moves around slightly. So if I toggle it off, you can see it unzooms and it doesn't like slightly sway. Because I wanted a little bit of like a camera sway. I wanted a little bit of a camera sway, and I could have added it in like the original video of the animation, but if I were to do that, then it wouldn't have the art that's in the frames be... Are you green? I'm not green, am I? Really, I'm not green. No, you're a fucking liar, and you're a whore, and you hate me, and you want me dead. What the helly? What the helly? I'm not green. Guys, I'm not green, right? Bearsip's lying, right? Probe is fine. Okay, Bearsip just loves lying. Okay. I don't know, you look green to me. Don't lie to me. Please. I've already had issues with this. You're good for me? No, you're purple? Okay, so you're not green? Okay. You look green. Stop lying! What's your fucking deal? Anyone that says I'm green, mods, anyone that says I'm green, time them out for 5 minutes. I've actually had issues with colors before. Don't lie, assholes. You're gonna make me think the thing's fucked up. And then I also have a color correction layer that just like darkens it slightly because it was kind of bright. And with all these turned off, this is what the background looks like. Very bright, very in your face. So that's why I have all my composition stuff. And each one of these little background things, like I can move around. Or not each one of them, but a lot of the stuff. Like this is just art by a Gothic Umbreon. And very cutesy, very cutesy. And then I can blink. I can move the art in like the canvases and such. Because they're all different ones. And this one that has the thing on it that I'm moving right now. This one is actually a slideshow. A few of these are slideshows. This one is like interest slideshows, so it mostly has horror stuff. Blah, 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 blah. And then I have another slideshow here. You can kind of see it, and it's just pictures of Lurch. It's just pictures of Lurch, and then I also have an art here, which I'm going to duplicate it so you can see it better. And let me turn off the filter on it. Because there's a color correction filter for the background. And it's art of boobs. Wow! Look how cutie, la la! Look how cutie! So cutie patootie. So cutie patootie. It's the crew. It is the crew. It's my old background. 3.0. Yeah, it's my old my old design, but it still looks like Grub, so whatever. Very cutie patootie. Yes. And Bo's also there. Ugh. Ugh, I hate that guy. Ugh. That guy sucks. I'm not still exporting. That's my goat right there. My king. Yeah. As you can see, a lot of work went into like just the background and like the assets and stuff. But there's also other stuff. Like for example, the Twitch chat widget up there. I went through a few different like rough design stuff and to make it very legible because I have dyslexia. And I wanted it to be very visible and easy to read. It went through a few different design stuff, and I am very happy with how it turned out. Yes. Hello? That, and there's other stuff that we did. I forgot what I was saying. forgot what I was saying. La la, la la, hey. Ah, I remember. Okay, so you see this frame here, which I can toggle it on and off. I did that, and it's actually reused assets for a lot of stuff. So I drew something once, and then I made sure it would be compatible with multiple different things. Hi, welcome on in, with the photo, la la. I made sure it'd be compatible with multiple things, right? So there's the frame, and if I, like, show the... You can't really see it, but, like, it's color shifting at the bottom here. That's because it has, like, a rotating checker pattern like the floor has in the background. It's very subtle though. And I can turn that off, like I said, and then, you know, it's all animated and fun and stuff. But I also have this, and if I do this, you can see it's also animated on the border there. It drips a little bit, and the guts move a little bit, and the eyeballs move, all that fun stuff. And it's the same with the chat. It's the same with the chat, la la! And there's the rotating, checker pattern again, and a gradient. And let me tell you, in order for it to look like this, it was such a pain in the fucking ass. Dude, okay, so it is set up through Stream Deck, so I can toggle on the chat on and off easy, right? There's still a little bit of issue here. You see how, like, the inside of the chat... It's broken. There we go. The inside of the chat, like, falls out of it when it moves. That is because Stream Deck has a delay between actions, and the only way I was able to set this up, because for some fucking reason there's no option for Stream Deck to just have a toggle on-off for assets in OBS, I had to set this up as a on switch and an off switch with the two ends. So I think this in particular has like 7 different things I had to set in between them for it to work how it's supposed to work. Ridiculous. It's the same with, this. It doesn't change with this model, but on my other model it changes the lighting. But like the dark mode, it took so much stupid shit to do that. 700 cigarettes. It was so much. That, and also, here, take the chat away. Put this one back on. I also have my phone thing. That's also animated, of course. I have a table. I haven't used the table yet. I have chair. La la. You know, the tablet is also animated. Thank you. All is well. Hold on. Okay, it still hurts a little bit, but it doesn't hurt as much. Maybe I did need to eat. Hey guys, do you think the stabbing pain in my ribs was actually starvation pain? What are your thoughts on that? Maybe it was that. Surely not, right? Surely not. Surely not. Yes? Also, I fixed the antenna. All bueno now. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Big grub. Grub bouncing, looking at the animation meme. Do not step to me with animation memes. Yeah. A lot of stuff went into this. We're not fucking nearly done, because I haven't even touched the model, and I was waiting for stuff to load. So we're gonna pop open. We're gonna pop We're gonna pop. You know what? Actually, I think I'll stay over here. I think I'll stay over here. I think I want to move a little bit. Never mind, we'll be over here. Boink. So here's my model, right? I rigged parts of this very unconventionally. So, oh, I do have a bald toggle. I didn't show you guys that, but I can be bald. I can be bald. Let's put that back on. My eyes! My eyes! That's enough out of you. So I rigged this in a very unconventional way. So first of all of my stuff is on augmented parameters, which, you know, that's pretty normal, but I also put eyes on augmented parameters. And I put some some physics into the mouth to make it extra boingy. Extra boingy. Right. So the eye closes and opens, right? As it should. And with the eyelid, because when you open your eyes and you have double eyelids instead of single eyelids, you open them all the way, the crease of your eyelid darkens, and then it lightens when you close your eyes because there's no crease there anymore. So as my eye closes, the eye is separated in a way that crease disappears. And also the highlight of the eye drags down. Because a lot of people don't notice, but every fucking part of this I had to manually move. There's no automation in this bitch, I fear. This is why models cost so much. Not only that, but on the eye, it's very subtle. Are you seeing that sparkle? There's no sparkle over here on the eyelid, but there's sparkle over here on the eyelid. It is a color shift texture that is set to the sparkle of the eyelid. So I do believe... Oh no, this is the glasses. Where is it? Face? Eyes? Yes, it is this. I do believe... Eye masks. Add eyes. Here we go. So this is just... Come on. I hope it's freezing. Let me take this off. This is just a gradient. We add that. And as I drag it over the eye, it looks like it's sparkling. And so it moves in different perspective depending on where the eye moves. To give that shiny effect, depending on where the head is looking. And it's the same with the hair, actually. So as you can see on the hair... Hold on. It's loading. As you can see on the hair, it gets brighter as I turn this way, and then it gets darker if I turn this way. That is because there is shading layers that change opacity depending on the perspective of the head. So, for example, over here, it's the same with the face as well. So I can turn that on and off. It's the same with the face. So over here, this is at 50% opacity, and it's an additive layer. Here, it's at 40, and here, it's at 18. And it also moves over ever so slightly. Here, when the head tilts down, it goes down 10%, and that's across the board. So, it like the neutral tone, it'd be 50, but here it's 30. It's a little more than I thought it would be, but that's fine. And then when it goes up 10%. So, here it's 50, it goes up to 60 across the board. So this is 40, it goes up to 50 when you look up, so on and so forth. And it's the same with the hair gradient itself. Not only does the hair have the same, like, overall gradient, right? It has a secondary gradient on each individual piece of the like, shines. So that's why it has this effect, like, focus your eyes right here. Has this effect that the hair shines kind of shift and shine more when you look to the left. This is done through invisible masks. So what these are, here we are. Here, let's switch the things real quick. So this is just like a shape, right? And I personally have these as pink on an additive layer at 20%. You can also just make them pure black and set them to additive because then they won't show up and they can just be like an invisible clipping mask, or you can just make it transparent. Or you can just make it transparent and then set your gradient to be an additive layer, and that works as well. But, I have it like this because I like how it looks, and if you turn the perspective, it changes the color of the gradient by doing it like this, but you have to manually move the gradient on each. So because it deforms out of the range of this blue, it looks like it manually moves it. Drawing can cut diamonds. Yeah, I saw a lot of people comment on my chin. I didn't even notice my chin was sharp, but I guess it kind of is comparative to the last one. I don't know, it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it. I think it's also because of my side dangle bits framing my face. It makes the chin look sharper than it actually is. Yeah. Would you prefer if I... puff my cheeks. Lion grub, yeah. So the hair was its own thing. Not only that, but also all of these little speckles, all these little dots, are also moved in perspective as well, depending on the head angle. It was the same with my last model. So this is how I make it look 3D. I separate some of my lighting layers and change them depending on the angle of the head. That, and you have to know perspective and anatomy enough to where you can sell the illusion of 3D. With some of my models, I haven't done this in actually a hot second, but with some of my models, I'll put them in OBS, and then I'll do a screen capture, and I'll go into, Vroid, and I'll lower the opacity of the model, and then make the base face in Vroid, and then I'll move the model to different angles so I have different reference angles. I haven't done this in a while. Nowadays, my method is more so I'll do like a base angle. So let's say I did this, and then I'll take a screenshot of... Come on. It's thinking. And then I'll take a screenshot, right? I'll take a screenshot of like this. This. And then I'll send that to myself, and I'll import it to my drawing app, and I'll draw over how I want the face to be changed for that angle, and then I'll import that sketch, and I'll just line it up. Is this whole stream just reflecting his model capabilities? Yes, yep. No, it's me talking about how much went into this, because I've never done this shit before. There's a lot of stuff I, like, have never done on models that I did on this model. Oh, it's the same with my little eyeball things. Those have their... Where are you little bitch? Come on. These have their own little highlight and shadow layers, depending on the angle of the head. And it's actually, different. So, this is the mask. So it doesn't affect, like, below here. Like, if I... There's a mask, an invisible mask, so if I squish this up, then this highlight will only affect where the mask is, right? But if I leave the mask where it's supposed to be, then it'll affect only that bottom bit there, and it won't affect the top bit, so it looks like it's curving around the... It looks like it's curving around the little charm thing, and it's also over here. It's the same setup, but I flipped the highlight, and it's a different, it's A, a different mask, and B, the highlight itself is flipped. So, it's more blue than it is pink. So if I go over here, it lessens the blue, and the highlight disappears because it's facing away from the light source. If we go over here, it becomes more pink because the light source is pink. Yeah. That's enough for now. Oh. Anyway, in Live 2D, you cannot change the opacity of folders and have everything changed together. It'll look like you're changing the opacity of multiple layers, and then they'll, like, layer over each other in different opacities, and it looks bad. So, to combat this with both, you know, the shading of the hair on the face as it moves, and the brow through the hair and the eyelashes through the hair, because you can see my eyelashes and my brows through my hair. I have an additional source above the layer that I want to be affected, so I'll just duplicate the layer, or for the face, for example, I have another completely different layer. Just like, let's do this real quick. I have another completely different layer, right? That's just a gradient. And then I duplicated all the hair. And for some of the hair pieces, I have their own shadow pieces because I wanted them to blur out as they got further away from the face and further away from the hair, because the further something is from an object that it is casting a shadow on, the more blurry the shadow will be. So for example, like over here, I wanted this to fade out and to be kind of blurry. It's also blurry on here as the casted shadow. So I added additional layers that were just shadow layers that are transparent, and it's the shadow layers are clipped to these invisible layers. So it allows for a clean shadow. And that also allows for, as we move over and such, like this is clean on this jawline here. Muy bien, muy bien. You can trust Grub to drink his own water, I hope. Yeah, I'm like halfway through a water bottle. Now I'm 2/3 through a water bottle. It's matter for a reason, yeah. I do be drinking. Too deep into the hyperfixation rabbit hole. This is true. You know, Band-Aid. Band-Aid, I actually did do it in an interesting way. So you see it, like, is masked out here, and then I can move it on the face. So how I did this was I actually... Is it this? It is, okay. So I have an invisible layer here, which I can toggle on. And it's just an outer layer of the head. And I use this for other things too, so it's not just for this Band-Aid. If it was just for the Band-Aid, I just have like a little section over here. But it's just an outer layer of the head that blocks off everything not in the head. And it's transparent. And I have the Band-Aid set to be clipped to this on an inverse mask. And what that means is the Band-Aid shows up everywhere but where the, like, texture of the layer is. So, I can move the Band-Aid around freely. It's gonna stutter, because of course it is. I can move the Band-Aid around freely, and it'll always, like, be on the face, no matter the angle. So as it moves in perspective, it squishes a little more out, and you see less of it as it moves over here. And then over here you see the full Band-Aid, right? Omniscient Band-Aid, yeah. A lot more goes into model making than people ever think of. I fear. Yeah. For my eyes, you want to see something cursed? For my toggles of, yeah. For this one, and, this one. It's actually way more complicated than it seems. It's not just like a one switch thing, but the way I do it makes it easier to do multiple, and to have a little more control over the toggle itself. Poisonally, I like to do it like this. So for this, I had to have a toggle where my eyes are gone, and it actually happens in a split second, so you don't see this. But in order to make sure the mask of the face, like the light layer of the face that is supposed to be clipped to the eyes and the eyelashes, isn't affected when it is transparent, because invisible masks can't exist, I had to move them to this. I had to move them to the center of the face. And you don't see this because, again, it's a split second. But this is what I was looking. This is what I was looking at when I was working it. And the pupils don't move or any of that shit. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same with the mouth. The mouth just, like, goes away. So So I had to remove both of those, and then I have just the eyes. I can do just the eyes, and then I also have the mouth. So I could just do my regular mouth with these eyes if I wanted to as well, and that would work. And then I also have, you know, just... Which is different art, but it just looks like the same art. I don't know why I did different art for basically the same thing. Yeah. That, not only that, but with this mouth... Here, let's do the Lenny eyes. With this mouth, there is regular mouth rigging. Let's get into the mouth rigging a little bit. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. So these are all my mouth parameters. All these are mouth parameters. So with this mouth, there is, you know, mouth open, and then it changes scale depending on the form, and then you with the regular mouth, it hiccups. Oh, that really hurt. With the regular mouth, it has a lot more deformation depending on the mouth form, obviously, but this one's just like a silly little one. And it also has funnel, and funnel's only activated when the mouth is fully closed. This is on something called a no, it's actually not on a blend shape. Usually it is on a blend shape, but this one isn't. So this is like just a little ooh, ooh. So when I pucker my lips and make a ooh shape, it only does this shape, right? And then it also has mouth press lip open, which is smiling with my teeth. And that's not a form that is made in just like mouth tracking. It's only smiling with my teeth. And then there's whole, you know, mouth press lip open, which is just... Right. And then there's pucker, which is just smushed together. And let's switch back to my proper mouth real quick. Reset the deep pulse, there we go. Let's go through this with my proper mouth, yeah? Yeah. So there's, you know, mouth open, and this is for all forms. So here's the smile one, here's the neutral, which is more of an ah shape, and then there's the sad or upset frame, and then there's also in-betweens for all of these. If I didn't like the shape, I went in and I just changed it. And then at 0.1, I like my mouth to snap open a little more than it would if I didn't have a buffer frame. So I added at 0.1 because it's on a scale of 0 to 1.2 for the mouth to open. So at 0.1, so very close to where the mouth is closed, I have a buffer frame that is just the same actually as mouth press lip open. So when I smile with my teeth, it's just the same frame because I want it to snap open and snap close a little more and not look like a fucking idiot with my mouth going when I'm just staring at my screen playing a video game. It's the same with here. Like it just snaps open to this. And there's still like an in-between there, obviously, but it's not as noticeable. And then there's also here. And it's the same as mouth press lip open, like I said. So it's just... Yeah. And then like cheeks move and stuff when the mouth press lip open does stuff. And then there's pucker, which just squishes the lips together and squishes in the cheeks. And then there's mouth brow. This is a parameter I don't know if any other riggers add it. I'm sure they add the mouth being affected by the eyebrows. Or they don't, because a lot of riggers will have mouth shrug, which is this. The mouth going up and down, right? But they also have something called jaw open. I have a jaw open parameter, but it's just like a temp parameter for me to be able to copy and paste a certain keyframe onto other keyframes. They have jaw open, which opens the jaw and the teeth inside the mouth separate from the lips opening. And I don't like doing that, because if I do it like that instead of like this, then the model only works when you have V-Bridger up, and V-Bridger is notorious for breaking. So, I rig my V-Bridger in a way that it works with both V-Bridger on and V-Bridger off. Like here, let me turn... this is what my model looks like with V-Bridger, right? And if I disconnect... the model still works. The model still works, but you can see the mouth tracking not as good. And I leaned back because it's not tracking my lean forward anymore. Let's connect again. There we go. There we go, there we go. But yes. Yes. There's mouth brow, which is just, this is connected to the eyebrows. So when the eyebrow go down, like this, the mouth go up, and it's the opposite for the eyebrow go up. And this is just squash and stretch principle, that's why my models are so cartoony, kind of. I'm coming in to say hi before working out. What? You work out? Not allowed. You need to be a chud at home like the rest of us. Hi, thanks for popping in. And then I have the mouth side to side. I actually separated this into multiple different parameters because I wanted them to have different physics effects, if that makes sense, and have different effects of brows and mouth and eyes. So this is, and also head angle. I wanted them to be affected by the head angle at different amounts. Right. So this just moves the cheeks. This moves like the mouth squishing. And then this moves the tops of the eyes. So this moves the bottom of the eyes. This moves the tops of the eyes. And then this one's like a augmented option. Augmented parameter. So if we do these all together, it does this. This actually needs to be flipped. Quick question. Is your model based off an animal or no? I'm a grub. Do you know grubs are real? I fear grubs are a real animal. I actually had someone not know that grubs are a real animal before. They thought they were just something that Hollow Knight made up. Like, in my comment section, they're like, what are you? And someone was like, they're a grub. And they're like, those are real. No, they're not. You're lying. This can't be. Yeah. I also have cheek puff. It doesn't matter. Okay, so both the eyes are affected on this right cheek puff, right? But that doesn't matter because the only reason I have cheek puffs separated into like 3 separate ones is this is the center of it, and then the right and the left, and the only reason I have it affected like this is because I have different physics depending on left and right, and then I also have the puff on this side goes away as the head turns in perspective, if it'll work. Like the side facing you, there's no cheek puff because it'd be looking at you directly. Which I could have done with one parameter, but I wanted different physics settings, and if I put them all in one parameter, it wouldn't have let me. How does Grub breathe? Yeah. Most, bugs that live in the dirt breathe through their skin. Bald. Another fun thing. Here, I'm gonna make myself bald again. Wow. Another fun thing about my eyes in particular is that you can see these eyelashes turn in perspective. They are actually a separate piece from... Come on, where are we? Here we are. They're actually a separate piece from, like, the actual lash itself, and there's also the whites of the lashes, and the shadows are separate pieces, so I can move those in perspective as well. And then for, like, how my, you see my eyeliner jitters? If you look real close, my eyeliner jitters in an idle animation. That is because that is actually set up in a proper animation. Where's my frames animation? Here we go. And it cycles between these 3 frames, but there's no time in between them, so it just jitters, like, back and forth, right? Like, sketchy. And there's a second frames animation for other stuff, too. And I also have, you know, the eye spin, because my eyes do have an idle spin as well. This is just a repeating parameter. It's just deciding it doesn't want to cooperate right now, but that's fine. It works fine on my actual model. And these are just like the animation parameters, right? Oh, that's fun stuff. Oh, that's fun stuff. Yes, 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 yes. And then the drool is actually separate into 4 different ones. So there's the base drool, which just has it drip down, right? So it just drips down. And then there's... I don't know what this is. Ah. I think this is... Ah, okay, so this is the drip itself, actually. Because the drip itself has different physics than the, like, the drop that falls off of it. So there's the drop that falls off of it is this. And this has different physics than, like, the drip itself. And this, like, pinches it off so that it drips good. Does that make sense? And gets all slurped up. Is this the only outfit we have for the new model? Yes! I can take this off, though. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. I can take off my jacket. I do have another outfit kinda in the works. The sketch is done, and the design is done. I commissioned someone for a design because I want a design that covers up my stomach area and my chest area, and my legs, mostly. For artists, so they don't have to draw all the insides, because I know it's a little bit complicated. But my commissions take priority over, like, a new outfit, because I just debuted this. But at 20k, I'll be working on a chibi model for Bunchata, because me and Starpy are doing a trade, and then she is going to design me a Kiara outfit. So, a lot of stuff happening at 20k. Wowie zowie. Oh, dude, for the cheek pull. This is so convoluted. Look at this shit. So there's the cheek pull on, right? And this just makes the hand come on. There's the pull itself. So this drags, like, the cheek out, and then these back fingers move, and it just, like, moves the fingers in perspective. And then there's, like, this moving. And they're all combined together to give that pull effect. So when I do... this, it does that. Whose hand is that? It's the viewer stand-in. I've always used red or pink for the viewer stand-in. I need your opinion. I'm trying to make a VTuber design, but I cannot decide for what sort of inspiration I'm getting from animals. All my opinions are a seal, a meerkat, and a lemur. What do you think? It doesn't have to be an animal. It doesn't have to be an animal. It can be an animal if you want it, but it doesn't have to be an animal. It could be an object, could just be a person, could be a concept. But you didn't hear this from me, but I may or may not, in a past life years ago, in, like, my first iteration or something like that, was a Selkie. So I'm a little biased. Guys, not to brag, but I was a seal before it was cool. I was a seal before it was cool. But yeah, in my past life, I was a seal. It was a Selkie, and I was a fishmonger Selkie. Coffee VTuber? You could be a coffee VTuber, that'd be cutie. There's multiple bread VTubers, actually. So you could be a coffee VTuber. I'm sure there's one out there already, but it's not to say you can't make it original. Here's the poke. It doesn't work well with the ball because it's meant to touch the hair. But poke on, and then just poke. And this also has physics when it does the poke. And then there's the pet. There's a few different parameters for the pet, so there's the back and forth, right? There's back and forth 2, which just wiggles it in perspective, and then this wiggles it back and forth. And then there's the Y, which is the pet, and then there's Y2, which is the secondary pet of the fingers, like, being a little delayed. So, working all together. How do you eat with no teeth? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? This is Chomp. I don't know what this is for. Ah, this is my beetle friend. Here, let's turn the beetle on. So the beetle has a bunch of idle animations, right? As you can see, bro's schmoovin', bro's groovin'. There's a little wing flicker. His chompers are moving. So we got... Let's turn off the jack here real quick so you can see a little better. There we go. We got a parameter that makes bird chomp. That's just a back and forth. We have a parameter that flickers the wings out and then flickers the wings in and kind of down. And it's kind of hard to see, but there is two different wings. There's a transparent wing here, and then there's the outer, like, shell of the beetle. And it's like a really quick flicker, as if it's just like, you know? And it does it occasionally. And then there's the leg 1 parameter, and then there's like 2 parameter, and this is affected by, you know, both physics and they touch me. Yeah. I fear they touch me. So there's a lot of fun idle animation shit in here. Yeah. Does the beetle whisper things to you? No, that's Miss Flush's job. You wanna see Miss Flush? She's also in the model. I gotta fix the TTS. Something's, like, it's broken right now. But you will eventually be able to speak through her, but for some reason, like, the program I use is broken. I gotta figure out what's wrong. But she is in the model. I can turn her on. But she's also separate from the model, so I can have her separate and put her, like, somewhere else on the screen. What exact species are you of a grub? I am not specific species. I am a fictional species, so I can do what I want. But the original concept was based off a common garden grub, because they can be blue. Little known fact. Common garden grub can be blue. Yes. Now, we got a bunch of toggles, bunch of animations. For the arms... There we go, let's reset the defaults, there we go. The arms I do in a, I guess, unorthodox way. Some people may do it like this. I don't know, I haven't really looked into how other riggers do it, but I know they always have the arm up. Some like to put everything on one parameter, so they'll do arm up for every single individual arm toggle. Not I. I will have a arm up L and an arm up R, so left and right. And then I will have different sliders for which arm I want it to be. Right? Like, which arm I want to use. And then some of them have, like, their own little gimmick. So this one has the fucking moves around its cursor tracked. So if I do this and this, cursor tracked. And then if I take that off and I do my gaming controller, I haven't set this up proper, but when I do play a game, I need to set it up before next week, because next week we're playing, God, fuck, what is it? Ray Animal Chapter 2 with Mint, and I'll be playing that with a controller. So this has controller X, and that's, you know, the joystick. Controller Y, again, joystick. And then it has button A, B, C, D. And then it has the right top trigger, right bottom trigger, which just does both of them. And the same with the left. And it's completely trackable with proper controller. Very fun things. Oh, the microphone. I forgot about the microphones. The microphone actually has its own animation stuff as well. That's what these frames are for. So it just scales. It changes color in, like, idle. If I pull this up, you can see it changing color. I have my new favorite online game to relate to my special interest. It's called Star Stables. Interesting. Sorry, my cat yawned, so I had to shove my finger in his mouth. You trying off my lamp, you little shit? What are you doing? You're so cutie. You need to work on a model design. You should. Hello. What setup do we use for the design and rigging? I am trying to get started and preferably want something portable. Stop touching my lamp! Fucker. So you will not get something portable unless you use a laptop. I used to use a Nitro Acer laptop, but if you have a model that is heavy or like high quality in the sense that the canvas is large and you can zoom in and you can see like all the brush strokes and it's not blurry, then you most likely will not be able to run a model like that off a laptop alongside OBS and a game. Unless you have the model very downscaled and you play the game at like shit quality, I fear. What? What are you yapping about? Yeah. My goodness. Is the world ending? Come here. You're so silly. I can't reach you down there, Wilbers. My cat likes to flop on the floor when I'm in a chair and I can't reach him. Yeah, a lot went into this fucking thing. For the body itself, so the head has, you know, left, right, up, down, and then all the corners. And then it also has a head tilt, so that's that. And it has an additional little bobble. And what this bobble does is it makes sure the head leads with the forehead, followed by the chin, followed by the chest, followed by the hips. So it's a little more of a sway motion. And if I get rid of this, so here's it with, right? Very smooth, very pretty. But if I make it so it's not valid anymore, and turn that off, you see it's how it's kind of just static? Without. It makes it so it leans into the turn. And I love doing that. I think Isabel Beeps does it now, because years ago, actually, before I was Grub, I was watching Isabel Beeps rig, and I was like, why don't you do this? I think it'd look really nice with their art, and they're like, oh, I'll try that, and they're like, wow, Grub. Well, I wasn't Grub then, but like, wow, you're so freaking cool. I love you, Grub, let's make out. No, Isabel Beeps didn't say that. I fear they're married. I don't like them. Very cute persona, though. I adore their designs, dude. I adore the designs and their stickers and their letters. Yeah. It's Frozen. There we go. Oh, I also have, you know, tongue out. And that's about it for the mouth. For the eyebrow. Come on. For the eyebrow. I have a few different parameters. This is the actual one that affects it, but I have it on augmented, so there's a little bit of bounce, so it just eases in and out, right? And then I have an additional little point here, so that the wrinkles on the nose only get affected past the halfway point, so it won't be affected here, so I can, like, be talking and have my eyebrows flicker up and down and stuff, and I won't, like, flicker in and out for the wrinkles on the nose. And then I also have an eye shift, which is on a slight delay for the eye opening big, so that the eyes, when they shrink, because they do shrink and move up and stuff, it isn't constantly shifting around when I'm talking again. And then for the body itself, God, these sleeves were so fucking annoying to do. Doesn't seem like it, but I promise you they are, with a transparent body and having sleeves that move in perspective, like, are viewed above the body on this side and behind the body on this side, and then it, you know, flips. It was so annoying to do, and even when I, like, move too fast, you can kind of see they clip in front or behind, depending on, physics. But, I'm glad how it came out. I am glad how it came out, but it was very frustrating. And guys, don't tell anyone. It's obvious. I have nipples. I do. There's nothing there. I have nipples. They're just also transparent. And I have a belly button. My own model didn't have a belly button. I saw those. Gripples. Yeah, I got gripples. Yeah, I have the side to side, where everything, you know, just moves in perspective, pretty basic. Then I have hip sway 1, and this is just the hips moving. And, you know, the legs. Then I have hip sway 2, and it's like most of the body moving, and these are on different reactive things. So this one's reactive based on, like, the angle of the body. And this one's reactive just as, like, an extra bounce. And, you know, tail. That's just my tail wag parameter, and everything's hooked up to that on the settings and animation. And then I have up and down, again, pretty shrimple. I don't do too much for the up and down. I do make the head bigger, and I have the character lean forward on the down, because when you're, like, looking down, you lean forward a little bit, and then I have the opposite, where the head goes smaller, and you lean back, right? And then on the, corners, because when you're looking to the side and looking up, you lean back, which a lot of people just have it look up and not lean back on the corners, which doesn't make sense to me. And I only, like, I guess within the past 10 models-ish, realized that you do lean back when you look up. So, lean back, and then I move to the left side when I look up to the right side, because I'm leaning back. Right? And it's the same with the front. Well, I move to the opposite side because I'm leaning forward. Right. And then you just... This is just the head tilt. Which I do have a button that flips this, so I can do a cute little shoulder dance. Which some people will have it like this, where it's flipped, so their opposite shoulder goes up. Depending on the model and depending on the character's personality, either or works, genuinely. You can also flip your body so that... here I can show you what that looks like. You can also flip your body so that when you look up, your body goes down. And that does work genuinely with some... Like, it's still a cute motion, and it works with some models and some people's personalities. Poisonally. Not a huge fan of the look, but it does work, again, with some models. I'm not a huge fan of the look for my... Stop moving my lamp! I'm not a huge fan of the look for my own model, but for, like, Renaeon, I had her switch her model Y-axis, so when she looks up, her model goes down, so that her tits are pushed forward. That, and she also just, like, looks up a lot, so it looks better for her model. It's a very... Your personal movement is dependent on how you should set up your model. Yes. And so many people who have models are not getting the full potential of their model because they just accept the model at face value from what their rigger sent them. Instead of fine-tuning the settings to their face poisonally. Which is what you're supposed to do. Hi. You done pushing my lamp? Being very rude, I hope you know that. Susu wants attention. You good boy. I was wondering, because I wasn't sure to buy a laptop or just get a PC. Just get a PC. As someone who worked from a laptop for many years, just get a PC. Especially because, like, any laptop that'll be able to run a high-quality model alongside, like, a very shit game, because you won't be able to run a high-quality model along a high-quality game on a laptop, is gonna be, like, $1,000 anyway. Hey! Stop fighting on my fucking desk! Get! Both of you! Both of you! Nope, you lost desk privileges. Get! You two, go. They're fighting behind my monitors. Bricks. And they moved my monitor. Shit, man. Let me take a sip. Alright, last thing I want to cover is someone asked about the leg and... Get the fuck out of here! What is wrong with you? He just took a noodle from my soup! You jit! Now I can't eat this because it's got all litter paws in it. Fuck! What is the... Dude! Damn it. I was still eating that. Anyway, these legs. They're separated into, like, each one of these little charms is its own piece, and I actually use these charms multiple times in, like, my, advertisement stuff. I just use parts directly from my model, because why would I draw them again? And the legs are separated into a back piece of the color, a front piece of the color that's transparent, an invisible mask. So this is the mask, it's just like a black part that I made invisible, and it's where I want the shine to go that follows the leg. And then I have just a gradient layer that I shift around depending on the body angle to give that like holographic look. And it's the same on this, but kind of like flipped, so it's more blue over here and it's more pink over here. And then in perspective, they also move, so each of these bones is separated as well, each of these twitsies is separated, all that fun stuff. Yepers, pretty shrimple. And then, you know, the shadow's separated from this because it moves in perspective by itself, and this top leg is separated from this bottom leg. Usually I don't separate top leg from bottom leg, I usually just do one whole thing, and then separate anything I want to move by itself on, like, shoes. But I wanted to separate this top leg from the bottom leg because this part is very... also the legs move separate. There's like a lead-in for the legs. Where's the leg? Here we go, yeah. It's like a lead-in for the leg, so it's like a delayed knee movement for the side. But this part of the leg is hard, like a carapace, or like a shell, and this part's soft, so I wanted it to move separately. That's why only the top of the thighs move in the physics, and this doesn't, because it's hard. And then finally, God, the stomach. Stomach, a million kajillion pieces. But the main ones. All the organs had to be separated into different pieces, obviously, depending on how I wanted them to move in perspective. So this is one piece. This is actually a different piece right here, where this moves here. This is a piece. This going around here and then back up here is one piece, and then this is another piece. This curls around, like, right here. And then there's also a back piece that is just like a vague shape implying more organs back there. And then all these charms are separate pieces, of course. And these ribs, each layer of these ribs is a separate piece with its own line art being an underfill layer. So there's no actual line art on these. It's all behind. That's why it gives this effect of, like, there's no line art when they meet with the back ones. And for these shines, I did the same thing. Hello? It's frozen. For the shines, I did the same thing, where there's... Also, this is just, like, my side thing, because as I move on the, like, the side, my sides and my back are not transparent. My sides and my back aren't transparent, which you can see on my ASMR model. Oh, it's only, like, my front that's transparent. But I did the same, like, masking thing for the holographic look, right? So this is shiny, and it moves in perspective for shiny. Here's another shiny. This one's more of a sharp shiny. And then there's just, like, the basic highlight. And then there's a basic overlay of the pink. And then there's the side highlights. And then there's armpit shadow, which you can't really see because there's clothing on, but there's a separation between the chest and the, like, armpit. I think I can take off the top. Hold on. It's not really letting me do it how I wanted it to. Whatever, when you turn it in perspective, there's actually, like, a full model under there. I'm learning a lot more of how to make your own avatar of a VTuber. Yeah, there's, like, a lot goes into each individual thing. Like, I was talking about these ruffles during debut and how annoying they were. That's because each individual part had to be separated into individual parts. Otherwise, it wouldn't move in perspective and they wouldn't be able to cross over each other. I should have separated this into two, but I didn't because I was being lazy. Again, with this, same. Same with all these ruffles. These are, you know, separated the same way. Also, can we get an exclamation mark hiccup? Separated the same way. If I were really fucking crazy, I'd take all these little pearls on the edges here and I'd separate them into individualities so that they don't deform as it turns in perspective, because technically they wouldn't deform because they're a hard object. But I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. La la. Yeah. There's a lot more to the model. Like, I could get into the specifics of fucking this collar has shine bits and stuff, and like is light reactive, and the same with this belt. Like, as you can see, there's a light shine that only appears in certain parts and doesn't in others, and same with these belts, and blah 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 blah. But I want to talk about the tail. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna toggle off the body, and I'm gonna show you the tail. So the tail is very holographic, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So there's an X on it, so this just turns the tail side to side, right? And it also adjusts the lighting. But there's also squash and stretch 1, squash and stretch 2, squash and stretch 3. This is just for the wag augments, because when I smile, it wags a little more. But also, as the tail turns in perspective, or as the tail wags in perspective, sorry. As the tail wags in perspective, it shifts in color, as you can see. So on this side, it's way more pink, and then it slowly shifts across the tail to be more like cyan. It's freezing because it's heavy. Come on. Yeah, it shifts to be more cyan, and then it completely disappears over here because the body would be blocking the light source over here, but there's still a light source right here because this would be the top of the tail shining through. And I think it's just gonna keep freezing if I keep touching it. But yeah. And then, final thing, talking about the model. Every single piece of this fucking candy had to not only be moved in perspective, but also had to have physics, because it is like a jelly-like substance. And so did the guts, but I'm not going to show you those up close. Oh my god. It was a lot of stuff, I know. I'm sure I missed some stuff as well. But talking about just what went into debut for, god, how long? This was an hour and the stream had to be restarted. So 2.5 hours, something like that? Something like that? I think I missed a lot. What did I miss? Yeah, you missed quite a bit. I'd be here for an in-depth stream on rigging and design. That would be a lot of work for me. That would be a lot of work for me. It's very hard to explain a rigging. Why is my chat thing's broken? There we go. It's very hard to explain rigging in depth, especially because different models require different separation. Different models require different separation depending on what piece it is, and it also requires different art meshing, different physics, like all that shit. Yeah, it's so much. It's so much, actually. Not only is it like so much, but we will be doing rigging streams in the future. I have done like multiple of them on so many rigging streams, but we'll be doing more rigging streams because Rina Rinna has new outfits. Rinna has new outfits that we'll be working on. That and God, Rinna has new outfits. Rinna has 2 new outfits. Blackjack has a new outfit. Blackjack has a posed model commission. Blackjack has a goober commission. I don't know if I'll be rigging Bo's model live or not. I don't know. I don't know about that one. It's depending on how much he wants to reveal of his design. We might be doing the TV models live, because I have 2 TV models on my roster as well. I got a lot of shit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are done eating rings, and I need to make a different food now, because my cat put its nasty, schnasty little litter paws in my shit. Fuck, man. So let me close this. Fuck! League subliminal messaging? No, I need to eat. I need to relax. It's still kind of a sharp pain, but it's not as bad. Love your avatar. Looks cute and also cool. Thanks! I just ran through, like, everything that makes my avatar my avatar. I am doing a bet to say, how is your day going to 8,000 VTubers, and I only said hi to Carbon, and he was mad at me for no reason. Anyone who comes into a chat and is like, this other VTuber, this other streamer got mad at me for no reason at all. Usually there was a reason and you're not mentioning it, and then you come to my chat to get attention. So here's your attention. Go away now. If that's the case, I do think you needed to eat then, dog. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I was having hunger pains. I only said hi. Did you mention a streamer before that? Are you gonna go to a new streamer's chat now and be like, I'm doing this challenge to say hi to 1,000 VTubers, and I went to Vomitgrub and he was mean to me. I'm closing stuff. Oh, woe is me. Do you have plans to collab with anyone soon? Yes, next week I'm collabing with my friend Mint, and Bo, and maybe Toast. Toast as in, like, doggy person toast, not toast as in, like, the repo player toast. A lot of people. Yeah. I do, like, collabs kind of regularly, but I want a debut week to be just me. Simply because there's a lot of new people here that don't know, like, me, my personality. And during collabs, I tend to be a little quieter because I don't want to talk over people, and I don't want to, like, I don't want to interrupt a conversation, like, 2 people will be talking, I'm like, thanks for the gifted sub, blah, blah. Which I do have a mute button, but it still seems rude, I don't know, like, especially if it's an in-game microphone thing, and I can't mute in-game. How do you feel after Luanon? I feel a little bit better, but I only was able to eat half of it because my cat put his nasty little litter paws in it and stole a noodle. Sketty noodle. Plus, with all the work you put in, you should be more than allowed to show off a good bit. Yeah, well, I wanted to show off, like, so much goes into debuts that people have no idea about, and so much, like, thought goes into each piece. Like, I gave the example of the background and how I ended up choosing a background artist by, like, walking you through my little process of putting my model art against backgrounds and, like, color scaling them to the background to see if it matches up or if it's jarring, and then I went through the process of what changed my background and design and stuff. And even then, I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff. I 1000% missed some stuff. That flourish for you? No, it was Susu! It was Susu's little nasty fucking litter paws, and he took a noodle! It was Susu! It wasn't Lurch. Greedy little old man. Fucked up. Susu turns 11 this year, lads. I thought his birthday was in January, but no, it's in, like, September. Susu turns 11 this year. He's so old. I got, Lurch. Lurch is, like, 1 year old now. Susu turns 11 this year in September. And Brady turns 13 in February, I believe. Do you know what a great U2s is? I don't really care about U2s. My Black Lab just turned 2. Haha, just a wee fella. Just a wee fella, eh? Wee little shit. Wee little shit. Alright. Let's find... Hey, would you guys perhaps be interested? Would you guys perhaps be interested in some League of Legends? Why is it sticking in my tongue? League of Legends? Not from me. Not from me. Not from I. Shrimply. Not from I. I'm gonna raid someone that has League of Legends. No, I'm gonna get off, and eat something proper. And probably work a little bit. Maybe lay down, I don't know, depending on how I feel when I, stand up. Raid Juniper? No. I love Juniper's design, but she's kind of mean. We're raiding Takawasa. She's kind of mean in the sense that, I don't know, she's very... From everything I've seen about her, it's been very... mean girl mentality, in the sense that when her friends say something, she believes them wholeheartedly, without looking into it whatsoever, and then exacerbates a situation based on false information she has been told. Yeah. It happens. There's a lot of big VTubers I don't like, but design's gorgeous. Yeah. We're gonna rate Takawasa. Takawasa, they are squid VTuber, question mark? Squid? Do you remember about the VTuber model opinion thing I asked you? Well, I think I got it. Neat. Alright, we're gonna rate out though. Bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm gonna go eat something. If you're a new renter and you do not know how it works, you automatically get 250 channel points to transfer over the rate. So I highly recommend you do it because we have so many fun little redeems. Fun little redeems. You can poke me, you can pet me, you can squish me, you can pick a card, you can pick a box, you can pick your nose. That costs you nothing. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Bye, YouTube.